It's Friday, the best day of the week. The day we all look forward to, the day that we all seek. Not Monday or Tuesday, I'm really glad that they have gone. It's the day we plan for Saturday, hoping for a sunny day. Boy, I sure am glad it's Friday.
The John Laws Show. The week went that way.
The wanted WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has spoken publicly from the balcony of the Ecuadorian embassy in London, calling on the President, Barack Obama, US President, obviously, to renounce the witch hunt against WikiLeaks. I don't know that this fellow is in a position to bargain, is he? I really can't come to terms with this thing. He's called on the US to dissolve its FBI investigation and to give an assurance not to try and prosecute the staff and the supporters of WikiLeaks. He also says there's got to be no more foolish talk about the prosecution of media outlets, be they WikiLeaks or the New York Times. You know, it's about as close as Julian Assange has come to seeking an assurance the US will not seek his extradition should he go to Sweden to face questions of sexual misconduct involving two women. Earlier, a spokesman for Julian Assange claimed that he would consider accepting extradition to Sweden if the US would publicly pledge not to seek his extradition. Well, that's very big of him, isn't it? I don't know how many courts in Britain have ruled that he should go back to Sweden, and here he is trying to lobby for some assurance from the US. He's not in a position to bargain, this fellow. He should be headed back to Sweden. Simple as that. But in the meantime, this defender of free speech and democracy remains in the arms of a left-leaning South American dictatorship that jails people who speak out of turn anyway. I tell you what, it's a wonderful case of hypocrisy.
If that's what the US government is pursuing him on, because he has released that information, then surely any other newspaper editor who has also released that information should also potentially be concerned or liable for the same potential or alleged crime that Julian Assange has done.
If a newspaper reports the news, then that's their job. And if it's news that Julian Assange has made certain statements about a government or a sex offence or whatever it might be, that can be published.
No, but my point is, and forget the sexual side, John, because that's a separate issue. But my point is, he is simply releasing information that has been passed on to him. He didn't actually steal that information. He's simply reporting on that information that was released to him, like any other newspaper.
But one can only assume that he knew that it was secret information. It's very complex.
No, well, absolutely. But then if he knew it was secret information, then surely any other newspaper editor would have, and they'd be potentially liable for the same alleged crime that he's done.
You see, what he did was publish literally hundreds of thousands of US diplomatic cables, which included military secrets and national intelligence. Now, while the extent of the direct repercussions of the release of that information can't be calculated, it's clear that international relationships have been shaken up, thousands of lives have been put at risk, innocent people are going to die.
I just wanted to touch on how good your attitude is being objectionable to certain issues, like the Olympics. When everyone was whinging, you were the only one, I believe, that had an objectionable, accurate assessment of everything.
Yes, objective, I think, is the word you're looking for.
Yeah. And a few months ago you said to someone, let me know what people don't like about me or whatever. The only thing they don't like, if they got anything about you, because you tell the bloody truth. I think that could be the only thing, John, because you're just so spot on, mate.
Well, that's very nice of you, Tony, to say that. Yeah. It's a very good thing to tell the truth, because then you don't need a good memory. If it's the truth.
If I'm half as good as you are, John, at your time, I'll be ecstatic. And just one other thing, your whole attitude on this asylum seeker issue, the way you've looked after the facts, the issues, and cut the emotion out of it is just unbelievable. I'm totally I listen to what you say before I listen to anyone else.
Good on you. That's very good. I appreciate your call, Tony. Now, I have known John Michael Howson for many, 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 many years. And I've always enjoyed his company. And he and I have had some fun times together, not only here, but in the United States as well. But I think he might be losing the plot after another extraordinary outburst on Melbourne radio, which has resulted in his suspension. It was a silly thing to do, and it made no sense at the time. He just sounded like he was raving. Do you want to hear it? Listen.
And what about the government in Canberra that wants to restrict free speech? Why aren't you doing something about that?
Thanks, Sam. Sam Castro from the WikiLeaks Australian Citizens Alliance. Christine Assange joins us now. Christine, good morning.
Good morning. Rather disgraceful the way you treated Sam. And
well, that's good. I'm a disgraceful person.
Excuse me, I won't be doing an interview with you because you're acting like the pig.
Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil!
She's gone.
Good, I'm glad.
John Michael Howson, what have you done?
Oh, I've upset people. I have apologised. I'm terribly sorry. I'm actually calling you from Devil's Island because I've been exiled for 4 weeks from 3AW. So I hope the connection is all right.
Listen, tell me, why did they exile you? Was it that bad? I've played it.
I responded wrongly, I will say, but you know what this business is like. Sometimes the blood rushes to the head and we say things that we probably shouldn't.
But tell me,
Zig Heil, which because I thought you was acting like a totalitarian and trying to shut me up. And I'm not frightened to speak my mind, and I'm certainly not politically correct in any way, shape or form.
Never have been.
That's a form of fascism, and we have to really watch out when you have people saying what is correct to say and what is not correct to say. Now, I would never refer to anybody in racist terms or any of that vile language to describe other people. I would not do that. But when it comes to the argy-bargy of give and take, to have to walk a fine line of political correctness is a very dangerous thing. It's George Orwell, predictions coming true.
Yeah, you're right there. Anyway, you and I are the least politically correct individuals on the face of the earth.
I wouldn't know how to spell the words.
No, nor would I care. Hey, we've had some fun together, though, haven't we?
Oh, mate, we have. And how's the princess?
Oh, she's wonderful. She'll be happy. She'll be there listening to you. She'll be happy to hear your voice.
You know, John, I will say this on air. One of my regrets, I haven't seen you much in the last few years.
No, I know.
And I really, really enjoyed your company tremendously, always. And I think, when I look where we are, you have had a nice friendship and a nice working relationship, and I think I was inspired by you, the fact that you were, and sometimes I agree with you, sometimes I don't, but you've got the guts to say what you want to say, and that's how I feel. Say what you want to say. Don't be namby-pamby and chew on your words. Say come out and say it.
I'm up here at Nine Ways Broadmeadow. There's a billboard,
yep,
and it says, Mary had a little lamb with fries and a Coke.
Yeah.
That's what the billboard says, for a McDonald's lamb burger.
Yeah.
Now, that to me is utterly offensive. Taking a kiddie's nursery rhyme, right, and then switching it about and putting fries and a Coke in it to sell dead or silenced lamb back to the children.
Look, come on, Rollo, you're being a bit sensitive, aren't you?
If me and you were down the pub, and I had a beer with you, and I said that to you, yeah, it's a laugh, because there's no kids around, right? But to put it on a billboard, it's an outrage.
Oh, God, Rollo, hardly an outrage. What does it say? Mary had a little
lamb with fries and a Coke.
Okay, well...
That is ugly, obscene.
Oh, come on. If the kid sees it and says, Mummy, what does that mean? Mummy can tell the kid.
Well, Mummy shouldn't have to, because it shouldn't be there in the first place.
You just say, it's funny, darling, Mary had a little lamb.
And a Coke.
Yeah.
That's not obscene?
No.
That's just funny, is it?
I don't know about it being funny, but it's a play on it.
It's bad taste. It's an amazing disgrace. That's what I would call it.
Oh, dear, I don't know where we can find you one, but if anybody's got a spare life, could you mail it in and I can give it to Roller?